Hello and welcome to Module 19 of our Small Business Certified AI Strategist program. You've created a thorough AI roadmap, presented it in both a written report and a live discussion, and answered all major questions. Now is the time to finalize that roadmap by collecting approvals, making any final updates, and then transitioning that into implementation phase if the client decides to keep you on board for the next step. Up until this point, you've already delivered the final AI roadmap in spreadsheet form, and you've given a presentation to confirm feasibility, budget, and timeline for each proposed AI tool. What remains is the official sign-off process. Typically, you'll add a new column labeled approved or not approved in the roadmap, and then you'll set a deadline for the client's decision makers to confirm which initiatives they want to move forward with. This clear, time-bound approach helps you ensure that you don't wind up in a state of indefinite limbo while they ponder their options. One of the key goals of your roadmap presentation is to establish a clear date by which your client will finalize decisions for each tool in the AI plan. You definitely don't want the roadmap to drift without concrete approvals. By insisting on a simple yes/no column and giving them, say, a week to respond, you encourage them to meet internally and come back to you with clear feedback. If certain tools are no longer relevant or they exceed budget, they can mark them accordingly. You may need to send a reminder a day or two before the deadline, just to keep everything on track. Once the client returns the roadmap, now updated with the approvals or the rejections of each AI tool, it's time to finalize and close out your strategic work. You'll refine the roadmap by removing any vetoed initiatives and adjusting timeframes or budgets where approvals were partial or priorities shifted. After updating your timeline or Gantt chart, you'll package it all in a neat file labeled something like Final AI Roadmap for Client-Year. Send that to the client as the official signed-off plan. At this stage, if your payment structure calls for a final invoice on the roadmap delivery, go ahead and issue that invoice. The goal here is to wrap up the strategic engagement. You're not yet trying to sell them your implementation services. Finish the roadmap phase cleanly and then collect your final payment and deliver a top-notch final product. Now that the roadmap is officially approved and the strategic phase is closed out, you'll likely see signs about the client's interest in ongoing help. Maybe they'll ask you when you can start rolling out the first project, or they'll mention that they want you to oversee everything. If so, it's time to reference the first start date indicated in the Gantt chart. Maybe it's 2 weeks out. You can send them a quick email that says something like, "Hey, I see our roadmap says that the first AI tool rollout would begin on insert the date. I'd love to discuss our next steps for turning this plan into reality." Assume you'll move forward until they say otherwise. In that meeting, you can outline a scope of work for implementation and management, including project management duties, employee training, and coordination with vendors. Don't sink time into writing a lengthy scope of work if they're hesitant. Get a verbal agreement on the scope, the monthly fee, and the time frame. Then once everyone's aligned, you produce a brief, precise scope of work. Now, remember, the implementation fee is typically an ongoing fee. It's a recurring fee reflecting the ongoing nature of your involvement. Everything from ensuring the tools integrate smoothly to training staff on the new processes. The complexity and the rollout schedule that has been agreed upon in that roadmap will guide how you set up that monthly retainer. And that brings us to the end of Module 19, Roadmap Approval. The big takeaway here is to create a clear, time-bound approval system for finalizing each AI initiative. Then deliver the final version of the roadmap and collect your last payment for the strategy phase. If the client's eager for your help in implementing everything, which they likely will, set a meeting referencing the start date of the first project that's in the roadmap, and then discuss a new scope of work for the engagement. In the next module, we'll dive deeper into AI stack management and implementation, covering how to coordinate training, measuring ROI over time, and ensuring each AI tool truly meets expectations. Congratulations on nearly completing the strategy portion of this journey, and I look forward to seeing you in Module 20.